Good afternoon, Lake Erie Council Wolf Scouts. You're here with me, Jared Blundy, Camp Director at Fire Island Scout Reservation, and Anthony. You want to introduce yourself, Anthony?
Hi, I'm Anthony Dwarning. I'm your Lake Erie Council Communications Executive.
And Anthony is here to join me for our first ever Wolf Den meeting, council-wide, where we're going to go over the Germs Alive adventure. If you follow along at home and participate in the activities and do some things with your family, then you'll be able to cross off these requirements for your Germs Alive adventure as part of your rank advancement.
It's really exciting that we're able to do that.
Exactly. This is something cool that we can do even remotely, and I think it's probably the best adventure that we can start off with for our den meetings as we learn about germs and viruses and why it's important to keep our germs to ourselves and all that kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, for our gathering activity, while folks are still joining our den meeting here, we're going to start with creating a room cleaning chart. So just something you can sketch out on a piece of paper. Let me show you what I've got for you here. Here's some examples of chores that you can do around your house to clean your room. And as requirement number 6 for Germs Alive, this is a set of chores that you can do for a week. And if you do these chores and mark them off on your chore chart for a week, then you'll be able to mark this requirement as done. So here's some examples: making your bed, hanging up your towels, putting your shoes away, taking care of your dirty clothes and then putting away the clean ones, putting your books away or any toys that you have, of course cleaning up after your at-home school activities like your papers and craft supplies, and of course throwing away any trash. Out of all those chores, what do you think is the most difficult one for you, Anthony?
Making my bed, Jared. You know, I absolutely hate making my bed. I always have. So it's one that I just absolutely hate having to do every morning to make sure I keep a clean room.
Well, I bet after a week of practicing this, you will be a master of making your bed and making it a good habit.
Well, you would hope.
So I'm going to share on our Facebook comments here the link to this chore chart. And as you can see, I've started to fill out my own one. In fact, the first one I wrote down as well, Anthony, was making my bed, because that's not something I'm very good at as well. My next chore is going to be to make sure I clean any dishes. This is in my bedroom, but it's a chore that I have to do.
That's something I also struggle with, Jared. Our top two are exactly the two things that we struggle with.
The next one is to put all of my dirty clothes away. Well, really putting the clean ones away once they're cleaned in the washer.
That's also on mine.
Now, what are 2 more chores that we want to work on, Anthony?
You know, Jared, something that I know has really been bothering me, especially around my house, is it's just myself living here, but you don't think you have to run it, but even in your rooms, you want to be able to make sure the floor is clean.
Sure, sweeping and vacuuming.
Absolutely.
I'm going to put down mopping as well, because I've got some hard floors here, and with a dog that likes to go in and out all day, they get pretty dirty.
I can't even imagine.
So the 11th point of the Scout Law, which one do you think that is? Do you have to count them on your finger, Anthony?
Clean. I had to think about that one.
You're right. It makes sense, though, right?
It does. I'm like, wait a minute.
So we're going to practice being a clean scout this week by filling out our chore chart. You can see this starts on Monday, so it's good for today. You can fill it out throughout the entire week with the chores that you think are most important, that you've talked about with your parents or whoever you live with. And we can mark those off. So today, I clean dishes already. I do my vacuuming on Sunday. That's actually one of my favorite things to do.
You like to vacuum, Jared?
I like to vacuum.
Once I get the vacuum out, I actually don't mind it, but just getting that process started.
And that means I still need to make my bed. I know it's late in the afternoon, but that's not a chore that I've done yet, so I'll still have to do it today, and I'll check on any dirty clothes as well. All right. Now you'll be able to fill out this chart throughout the week, and if you show it to your parents and to your den leader when you're able to meet with your den leader again, you'll be able to mark this requirement off as complete. Just remember every day to mark off the chores that you get done. Sometimes you're not doing them every single day, but you do want to make sure it becomes a habit to make sure you are Scout is cool. Well, Anthony, I think it's time to get our den meeting actually started.
All right.
And of course, that's with the Scout Oath and the Scout Law and the Pledge of Allegiance. So let's
Okay.
start with the Pledge of Allegiance, okay?
All right.
I've got here in my little office studio here is our American flag. So if you'll join me in saying the Pledge of Allegiance, here's the Scout sign. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America
United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty
and
and justice for all.
2. All right, and now your Cub Scout sign for the Scout Law. A Scout is trustworthy, loyal,
helpful,
friendly,
courteous,
kind,
obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent.
And the Scout Oath. On
my
my
honor, I will do my
I will
best
do my best
to do
to
my
do
duty,
my duty
to guard
to
my
guard
country,
my country,
to obey
to
the
obey the
Scout
Scout
law,
Law,
to help
to
other
help other
people
people
at all times, to keep myself
to keep myself
Physically
physically
strong,
strong,
mentally awake,
mentally awake,
and morally straight.
2. Great job, Anthony.
You too, Jared. You know, it's a lot harder to do over Zoom.
I know it is. Oh, congratulations, Bill. He says he made his bed today.
Hey. And
All right, we've started our den meeting here, and I want to ask for folks in the comments if you can comment what is the Cub Scout motto.
one big shout out to Brian Wolf. He says there's no germs in that Wolf household.
That's true. It's clean, clean, clean. Let's see if anybody comments the Scout motto. Do you remember what it is, Anthony? Oh, sure.
Okay, yeah, I almost did. I was like, I know it.
We'll give him 10 more seconds. 10, 9,
8, 7, 6,
6,
5,
5,
4,
4,
3, 2, 1.
1. What is it, Anthony?
The motto?
Oh, we got it. Phil and Bill both say, do your best. Great.
And thank you,
Cub Scout
Phil and
motto,
Bill.
Do your best. And we're going to be doing that throughout our Wolf meeting here today. It's going to be a little bit tricky. This is something we've never done before, but we're going to do our best.
It's what we're here to do.
All right, well, let's get started with our first activity. We've already made our chore chart. If anybody has, feel free to throw them into the Facebook box.
Hey,
Yep.
Jared, you cut out there for a hot minute, so can you please repeat that? Hold on 1 second. All right, go ahead.
Absolutely. Well, if you have any questions or comments, you can put them into the comment box here on Facebook, and we'll answer any questions. And there'll be some interactive parts as well, just like that Cub Scout motto.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. Oh, it looks like Bill is actually Luke the Wolf Scout. Thank you for joining us, Luke.
Welcome, Luke.
All right, our first activity here today is going to be learning about washing our hands. And I have a little game for us here, Anthony.
What's the game, Jared?
I have 6 different ways or 6 different times you should be washing your hands throughout the day.
Okay.
And I'm going to cover them one by one. And we're going to try and toss them into my sink over there. You see it in the corner?
Hey, that's a nice looking sink.
Thank you very much. All right, so our first one. What do you think is a time that you should always wash your hands afterwards?
Anytime you're done using the restroom.
Very good. That's our first one. After using the restroom, we want to make sure that we wash our hands. So let's see if I can wash my hands from here into the sink.
Hey!
Oh, I missed.
Nice job,
That was
Jared.
Close.
Oh, you missed?
I was trying.
Oh, I'm
I
sorry.
missed. It went right behind it.
I'm sorry.
Our second one here is after playing with your pets. Your pets go in and out all day long, and they bring in germs that may not be already on your body. So you want to make sure that you wash your hands after playing with your pets.
Especially important for you, Jared. You both have a cat and a dog.
And the turtle. It's like a whole zoo over here.
Oh my gosh, you missed twice, and the sink fell over.
The sink fell over.
Oh my God, you better get a better plumber.
All right. All right, the next time that we should be washing your hand is after sneezing or blowing your nose or coughing. We're going to talk about sneezing in just a little bit. So we want to make sure that we keep those germs to ourselves. But of course, anytime that you sneeze or blow your nose, you cough, that's a good transition time to just remember to wash your hands. All right, can I make it?
Let's hope, Jared. Hey,
Yes.
There we go.
We made it. The next one. After touching a cut or open sore. So as scouts, we know that we do first aid more than most anybody. So we need to make sure that we remember to protect ourselves using gloves before we touch an open sore, especially on another person. But always make sure that you wash your hands afterwards as well. Here we go.
Man, Jared, you're getting so much better at this.
Practice makes perfect.
Absolutely.
All right, the next one
Ooh.
is after playing outside. Those are some dirty hands, huh?
It looks like they've been to Firelands.
Or maybe Beaumont. There's a little more mud there, huh?
Just a little bit.
I think they're doing Mud Olympics at the Scout Camp this summer.
Woohoo! They are. They have the Scouts VSA kids will be out there doing that.
Now, there's one more obvious one that we haven't talked about yet. Let's see if Anthony can guess it. One more transition time that you should wash your hands.
After you shake somebody's hand.
Oh, that's a good one. That's not what they put, but I do agree with that.
Oh, okay.
This one
After
is
you
before
eat.
eating.
Oh, before.
Yep.
Okay.
Even more important before you eat, because you're going to be putting your hands near your mouth, and especially if you're touching something like this that's finger food, you don't want to get any germs that you had on your hands beforehand. So wash them before you eat, and then I'd say afterwards as well.
It's a good idea.
All right, we're going to make this one fancy. We're going to do a spin throw.
Oh, boy. I'm ready, Jared.
There we go.
Hey, you still made it.
I still made it.
That's awesome. Great
All right,
job.
So those are all times that you should be washing your hands. And of course, there's many more. I like to think about every time that I make a transition, that if I'm going into my house or into a new place, maybe I should think about either sanitizing or washing my hands. But what's the best way to wash your hands?
To me, the best way to washing your hands is just using plain old soap and water.
Exactly. Soap and water is great for particularly the coronavirus, which is what we've been talking a lot about lately. And the reason for that is because the way that soap is made, it breaks down the shell basically around the virus. It's made of basically fatty material, and the soap breaks it down. Now, I'm sure all of you have heard about proper hand washing technique lately, but I'm going to share with you my favorite way because it goes with a song. It's my favorite song.
It's my favorite song too, Jared.
I thought it might be your favorite song too.
It is.
So we're going to sing the germ song together as we wash our hands and we demonstrate good hand washing technique. Tune Happy Birthday. It goes, no dirty paws for me, no dirty paws for me. A Wolf Scout is clean, no dirty paws for me. And that'd be one round. But that's not quite long enough to get proper hand washing technique.
How many times do we have to go?
Verse. We want to do it twice if we're just singing the normal happy birthday song. So we have a second verse that goes, clean paws, keep me strong. Clean paws, keep me strong. A Wolf Scout is smart. Clean paws, keep me strong. And that will give us enough time to make sure that we're really scrubbing underneath our hands, under our fingernails, and everywhere, top and bottom, left and right. We want the whole thing.
That is a good thing to keep in mind.
So you ready to sing that song with me?
I can sing with you, Jared, but I don't have these sinks in multiple rooms in my house like you do.
All right, well, you can just be my choir here and sing with me.
Oh, boy. Here we go.
Let's get this set up. Now, before we sing, we got to get our hands lathered up because that doesn't count as part of the turn. So I'm going to show you the way I like to do this. Of course, we've got to turn the water on. Get our hands a little wet, but since a Scout is also thrifty, we're going to turn that back off while we lather up so we're not wasting any water. Next, I'm going to take a generous amount of soap.
Jared, what is a generous amount of soap?
Well, I did two squirts of this, my soap dispenser I have here, but it's all kind of whatever kind of dispenser you have. You just want enough to make sure you can cover both hands, top and bottom.
Good to know.
So hopefully you can see this here. I want to get the soap all around before I turn that water back on, and then we'll start singing, okay?
Sounds great.
All right, here we go.
All right.
No dirty
Dirty
paws
paws for me. No dirty
No
paws
paws
for me. A
Wolf
Wolf
Scout
Scout is clean. No dirty paws for me. Clean paws keep me strong. Clean paws keep me strong. A Wolf Scout is smart. Clean paws keep me smart. I said the wrong word.
All right, now I'm going to use my towel here to turn off the water.
Well, Jared, why is it important that you make sure you use a towel or a paper towel to turn off the water?
Well, I like to think because I'm not picking up any of the germs that I put onto the handle before I lathered up. So I've got my nice clean hands. I want to make sure that I don't get them really dirty after I've just got them clean. Otherwise, I have to wash them again.
Absolutely. My thought process exactly.
All right, we've washed our hands now. The Happy Birthday song and the Clean Paws song, I think, are great examples of something easy to remember, so you can do it every time. But there are some really creative ways that you can wash your hands to different songs as well. And I'd love to share this with you guys. So I'm going to show you. It's called washyourlyrics.com. And I'll put this link into the comment box.
I got that for you,
You can
Jared.
choose any song and artist, and it's going to give you a poster that you can put by your sink with your favorite song and the lyrics. That's the right length of time for washing your hands, and it's got these great little figures to show you good hand washing technique as well. So for my song, I put in the Baby Shark song, so I love that song.
Oh, it's one of my
It's a little
favorites.
Funny. So it's Baby Shark, do do do
Do,
do
do, do,
do,
do, Baby Shark, do, 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 do.
Baby Shark, do 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 do, Baby Shark. And it goes through those first three lyrics so you have enough time for washing your hands. So you can put your favorite song into this this website, print it out, and have some more fun while you're washing your hands for this time that we're fighting the coronavirus, and you can keep this in mind as we can go forward from that as well.
Hey, Jared. Ben is here, who's another Cub Scout. And
Hi, Ben.
and Robert says this is fantastic. So I just wanted to catch us up on some of our comments. And Abigail says it's one of her favorite songs, the hand washing song for the Wolf Scouts.
Oh, great. Well, thanks everybody for joining us. If you're not watching live, you'll still be able to see all the comment links when you watch it at home as well, and you can follow along and still complete your wolf meeting on your own.
Absolutely.
All right, our next one is the sneeze demonstration. All right. So I have some cool things to show you here, Anthony.
I'm excited.
We're gonna get a little bit sciencey.
Oh boy, it's one of my
Now,
favorite subjects.
We talked before about wanting to keep our germs to ourselves, whether it's seeing, anything like that.
Hey, Jared.
That is with the vampire sneeze. Have you ever heard of the vampire sneeze?
I have heard of the vampire sneeze, Jared.
Oh, fantastic. So the way the vampire sneeze goes is you want to make sure you contain any droplets into your shoulder and look like you're holding up your vampire cape like Dracula.
Okay.
All right, want to practice with me? We'll go on the count of 5.
All right.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Very nice. That's going to keep all of our droplets in a safe area right on our arm. But anything that kind of escapes, again, we're going to want to go wash our hands.
Absolutely.
Now, let me show you why that's so important that you cover up your cough or your sneeze. Now, I have here a balloon that I picked up from the store today. It's for making balloon animals, but this will work for my sneeze demonstration as well. And inside this balloon, you can kind of hear them and see them. I have, what are these called? Little glitter pieces, little sprinkles. And you can do this at home. You can do this at home with your own balloon. You just got to make yourself a funnel. I did that with just the bag that the balloon came in. I made a little funnel and poured my sprinkles into the balloon. And we're going to go outside together and we're going to pop it and see where all those little sprinkles, which are germs in this demonstration, how far they go everywhere because we're not covering up the cough.
Okay, let's head outside.
All right. Now, you Wolf Scouts at home, you can do this with glitter, you can do it with sprinkles, you can make your own confetti by cutting up small pieces of paper and then, again, funneling them into your own balloon. Ooh, I need an extra hand for this.
I'm sorry, Jared, I can't be there.
Can't lend me a hand.
No, I can't.
All right. And if you do this with glitter, I'm gonna ask that you put a tarp or a blanket or something down first because that can go everywhere. Or this is a great activity to do outside like I am.
Or it's on vacuuming day on your chart.
Oh, that's a good idea. All right. Well, I'm gonna grab my pointing device here, which is just a pencil with a sharp lead, and we'll see if I can hold this and pop it at the same time. You ready?
I'm excited. I'm ready, Jared.
All right, so when it pops, you got to say achoo because you just sneezed, right?
Got it.
All right, 3, 2, 1. Oh, no.
It fell.
Yeah, that went way further than I thought it was going to. I thought it would all kind of fall down right in front of me, but let me have the camera around. This is my concrete out here. Can you see all these little colorful sprinkles on the ground?
They're all over the place, Jared.
All right, well, so I was standing right here next to this chair, and if I look, I have sprinkles all the way over here and all the way up to the wall here. It went all over.
So they're all over. So, Jared, what you're saying is germs can go basically anywhere when you don't cover your sneeze or cough.
Exactly. It's not just the little snot thing that drips out of your nose. It's also all those little bubbles and small things you can't even see that spread out all into the air around you. And that's why it's so important that we use our vampire sneeze, and then again we wash our hands because you never know how far they're going to go.
That's a pretty cool technique you got there, Jared.
Thank you very much. Now we want to make sure that again a Scout is clean and we're leaving no trace with our balloon pieces here. So I'm going to pick those up and we'll head back inside for our next activity.
Awesome.
Now, I mentioned the little snot things that drip from your nose. We call that mucus, and that serves a very important part in keeping you safe and healthy. Did you know that, Anthony?
I did. I mean, I always thought they were just kind of there just to be an annoyance to me, but then I did a little bit of research, and they actually help us.
Exactly. So the mucus that's inside of our nose kind of acts as a trap. And what it does is, since it's up in your nose before air and things get into your body, it's going to trap those germs that are strangers to your body before they get in where they can do any harm. So while it can be annoying, as you said, Anthony, to have a bunch of snot and mucus in your nose, they really serve a really important purpose for us. And I'm going to show you that right here today by making one of our favorite things in Cub Scouts.
Oh boy.
We're going to make some slime. Ready? So what I've got in my
we're making
my
slime.
little lab here, we're making slime. In my lab, I have a Tupperware with 1 teaspoon of borax, which you can purchase from the store. Borax.
I got some outside.
Much more than one teaspoon. And I have a half a cup of glue, just your standard white Elmer's glue. And in these 2 Tupperwares, and then I also have a half a cup of warm water. I'm going to put half a cup of warm water in with the borax here. And I've already got half a cup of warm water in this red Tupperware, and that's what I'm going to pour my glue into. So
Jared, I got to come over.
Home.
You got all these fun activities at your house.
We do all kinds of fun stuff here. But like I said, all you need is glue, borax, some water, and then we're going to put some food coloring in here to give it a little bit of flavor.
What color
That's
are you
all you need to make your own snot mucus demonstration at home. There we go. What color am I going to make it? What color do you think I'm going to make it?
If I know you well enough, Jared, it may be green.
You are correct.
Man, all right.
So I'm going to put just a couple drops of food coloring here to make our snotty mucus that wonderful green color. And I'm going to use a spoon to stir it all up. I'm going to stir up my borax in my warm water.
Now, Jared, shouldn't you always be doing this if scouts are watching? Shouldn't they be doing this with their parents?
Absolutely, or a grandparent or whoever you're living with. Make sure you have a parent to do this along with you as you're mixing these things together. Good point. Next, I'm going to mix together my water and my glue and my food coloring. I think I need some more food coloring. Really nice and green. There we go.
Oh, you really like you do like yourself some green, Jared.
I sure do. All right, and then to mix these two ingredients together, I've got myself a quart-sized plastic bag right here. And we're going to pour them in together, and we're going to kind of squish it all together with our hands.
Cool.
Right, in goes the glue. Remember I said doing your best?
Yes.
Well, this is something I've not tried at home before. We've done this lots of times at camp.
I've always done it at camp. I've never made slime here at the house.
There we go. Ooh, you kind of see a little bit of bubbly stuff going on. So I'm going to seal that up and kind of mix it all together with my hands. Hopefully it hardens up a little bit. All right, we are going back into our bag here. Gonna squish it all together. I added a little bit more food coloring, so it just wasn't quite green enough. There we go. Fantastic. All right, so if you look close here, Anthony.
I'm looking.
See, I think it looks exactly like what comes out of my nose sometimes when I'm really sick.
I agree. I agree.
All right, but that's not all we're going to do, because I got to show you how useful this mucus is to us. So I'm going to put this now back into my Tupperware here. I'm going to pour very carefully. Oh, yeah.
Look at that slime.
Yeah. Let me pull this out. You can see it really coming out. And this is fun to play with. Not just with this mucus, but just as a kind of a cool experiment as well. Let's get that out. Very good. So, now this is mucus. This is what hangs out inside your nose and keeps your body safe. And I'm going to show you, with of course something that makes everybody sneeze: pepper.
Oh boy.
So if I pour a little bit of this pepper into my hand, remember, you can do this at home too. I'm going to show you exactly how this works. So if I have my little sneeze here, we're going to see how much of this pepper gets picked up by the mucus and doesn't go into the sink here. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Achoo! Ooh, nice. All right. So let's look. These are all the little germs that would.
Oh my gosh!
Picked up by my mucus instead. Ooh, this pepper does make me want to sneeze. All right, so that is your mucus demonstration. I encourage you to make it at your homes and kind of show how it works. And then you can always put it back into that bag and play with your mucus a little bit later.
Jared, I wouldn't recommend playing with your mucus. Only your slime mucus.
Your slime mucus. Good point. All right, folks, we're coming up on the end of our Wolf Den meeting here, but there is one more at-home activity that you'll need to do and then take pictures of and show with your den or with your family. And that's a mold demonstration. What do you know about mold, Anthony?
I don't know a whole lot about mold, Jared, other than it does make me sick if I'm in like areas that have mold, such as older buildings or in basements. And I know I get real stuffed up, and that mucus that we were just talking about ends up, really clogging my nose, and it makes it hard for me to breathe, and I kind of get itchy.
Yeah, those are all bad things. We don't want that to happen. And the reason that the mold forms is because germs or bacteria is left on food or surfaces and doesn't get cleaned. And in particular environments where it's warm or wet or moist, they tend to grow really, really well. So it's always important that we make sure we clean our surfaces, like our kitchen where we're making food, and also keep an eye on things in our refrigerators to make sure that nothing is going moldy there in the back of the fridge. So what I'm going to encourage you guys to do is to make your own mold culture with just a few pieces of leftover food from your house. So what I've got here is a bagel and a tomato. You can also do this with a banana peel and lots of different kinds of food just to see how quickly mold grows on different kinds of food. I put them here in my Tupperware containers. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cover those up, and I'm going to leave them out. I'm not going to put them back in the fridge because I want to see how fast they can grow. I'm going to take a picture of them every day and post them onto our social media channels with the hashtag #ScoutingAtHome, so you can see the progress of my mold culture throughout the week.
Cool.
So you'll see how fast it grows, and it'll be a really great demonstration of why it's important to make sure that we keep our surfaces clean, but also make sure that we're not eating any moldy food. We want to take care of that right away.
I know I do that about once a week. I just check through everything, Jared, in my fridge just to make sure we're good and safe to go, so I got nothing growing.
Very good. Now, Wolf Scouts, you guys should do this as well, so you can take some pieces of leftover food and put them into your own containers. They could be a Tupperware like this. They could be a plastic bag, anything that's airtight for your mold culture. And take a picture of it every day. And you can share them every day with us on our social media. You can share it at the end of the week and just do like a before and after. But make sure you keep those pictures so that when you get back from your den, you can show them, all of your friends and your den leader, the mold culture that you made in your own home.
It's a fun activity to do. And Jared, it's stuff that we all have in our houses.
Yeah, it's not hard. It's just something to keep track of over a few days. All right, now mold is really, really small, and it can grow in a lot of different surfaces. And we'll be able to see it grow in our food because we're gonna leave it out over time, but you can't always see it unless you look through a microscope at it. So we're gonna put some links in the common field of mold through a microscope, so you can kind of see what it looks like on the microscopic level. And then as it grows, obviously you'll be able to see that kind of fuzzy greenness on the food that you're growing your culture with.
It makes me squirm just hearing about it.
I know, it's a really good reminder of why it's important to stay clean and to make sure that we're cleaning those surfaces regularly.
Absolutely.
Our final requirement, which is our requirement number, yes, you there.
Hey, there you go. You came back on us. I was like, where'd you go?
Fantastic. Our final requirement, which is requirement number 2, is to play the Germ Magnet game. Now, this is a hard game to play when we're doing our social distancing because it's like a big game of tag, where one person is the germ and everybody else is a clean person. And when you play this game, when you get tagged, you become a germ as well. And then the game ends when everybody becomes germs. And the reason that that game is kind of interesting to play is it shows how quickly germs can spread among people. When you're touching, you're handshaking, all that kinds of stuff. Once one person is infected and they're not washing their hands, it can spread throughout people very, very quickly. Obviously, we don't want to do that right now because there is a virus that's going around to everybody. So what I would say is you can find a tag game to play online, or you can play with the people in your own household. But don't go outside and play this with your neighbor kids. Definitely not at this point.
No, there's too much risk there. But absolutely, it's a fun game to play when everybody's healthy again, and hopefully the world gets back on track.
Exactly. Now, that game reminds me of another game that we play. You might have heard of Sharks and Minnows.
It's one of my favorites.
So if you know how to play Sharks and Minnows, you know how to play Germ Magnet.
Cool.
All right, well, let's just recap really quickly on what we've learned here today. We started out with our cleaning room chart, and I made mine here that I'll keep track of, and I can share this on our Facebook page as well, showing that we are doing our part to be a clean scout, particularly within our households. We talked about hand washing and why that's important, all the different reasons and ways, the different times of day that we should be washing our hands. Remember what that last one was, Anthony, that we talked about in the sink game?
Make sure you cover your mouth.
We did talk about that, but what was that last transition time that we talked about, making sure you wash your hands before?
Oh, before you eat.
Exactly.
I'm sorry. Hey, there we are.
There we are. So we want to make sure that you do that before you eat, which is what I'm going to do after this. I'm going to get some dinner. Then we talked about the different hand washing technique, which you can see here in our lyric chart. We sang the germ song game, or we sang the germ song as we wash your hands, making sure it's at least 30 seconds long. We did a sneeze demonstration with our vampire sneeze, like this. And we showed outside with that balloon of how far germs can spread when you're not covering your sneeze with the vampire sneeze. We talked about mucus and why it's so important to our bodies to be that trap before germs can get inside. And then we finished up with our mold culture, which we're going to follow along throughout the next week and see how quickly mold can grow when it's not cleaned up
properly.
Exactly. Well, do we have any questions from our Facebook comments? Any questions, comments from the folks that are following along?
As of right now, Jared, I don't see any. Give them just a quick second here to possibly ask. But if you do have questions, we'll be responding to this feed and to our previous feed with any questions that you may have about germs.
Absolutely. So I'll just leave you with one thought here as we close down our Wolf Den meeting. I want to thank everybody for following along and doing their part to be a clean scout. It's very important that we practice our social distancing right now, as we've just talked about. Germs are very easy to spread and they're very hard to see. So if you stay inside and stay around your home, you're going to do your part to not spread any virus that you may not even be able to see on your body to other people. If we all do that together, we'll be able to take care of this situation and be back to our normal den meetings in no time.
And hopefully that'll be soon, because I can't wait to get back.
Exactly. For those that, during this time while we are practicing our social distancing, you can follow along with us on our website at lecbsa.org/at-home, or it's right there on our homepage. There are lots of activities to do with your family here at home to continue scouting throughout this time that we're away from our dens.
And Jared, funny thing,
to do some of those activities.
I'm sorry, and just another right after this at 5:30, Michelle Callie, one of our unit
serving. That again one more time, Anthony.
Oh, I'm sorry. I said right after this, around 5:30, our unit serving executive Michelle Callie will be hopping on for another fun at-home activity to teach us how to say the Scout Law and Oath in Spanish. So we'll be tossing over to her here in just a couple of minutes.
That's awesome.
Absolutely.
I'm going to follow along with that one as well.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, again, thank you everybody for following along and participating in our council-wide Wolf Den meeting. We'll have another one tomorrow for our Tiger Scouts. And remember to post those pictures of your mold cultures, of your mucus demonstrations, of your favorite sneezing technique, or of your favorite songs you like to sing along while you're hand washing to our social media with the hashtag Scouting at Home. Take care, everybody, and have a great night.
Have a great night, everybody. Thanks for watching.
Thank you, Anthony, for hanging out with me.
Hey, Jared, is a blast as always. We'll see you soon.
Bye.